Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I've got some absolutely ridiculous news about the AMC stock. Over 1.6 billion shares were traded through the dark pool for the month of May. Oh yeah, I went full DD on this one. Trust me guys, you do not want to miss this video. So stay tuned and let's make some money. But guys, before I dive into the video, I just want to give a massive shout out to the 1,900 of you that have currently dinged that notification bell, because you guys are always the first to watch a new video as soon as it's released. So guys, be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell if you haven't already, so that you don't miss another video just like this one. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, fraud, because trading over 120% of the float between two market makers millions of times is totally not suspicious. If this hits $200 by the end of the month, I'll submerge myself in mayo and make way for my rebirth. So what is this screenshot actually showing? It's showing the OTC non-ATS data details for AMC. We can see that 1.696 billion shares were traded for the month of May 2021, and there was over 9.5 million trades. Most of this volume was split by Virtu and Citadel, both trading over 900 million shares each. G1, 2 Sigma, Jane Street and UBS also had quite a large piece of the pie. So what is OTC non-ATS? Well, FINRA publishes over-the-counter trading information on a delayed basis for each alternative trading system, or ATS, and member firm with a trade reporting obligation under the FINRA rules. So therefore a non-ATS is a non-alternative trading system such as Citadel Connect, because they don't have to report the trades under the FINRA rules. Security-specific information for firms with de minimis volume outside of an ATS is aggregated and published on a non-attributed basis. The trading information is derived directly from OTC trades, or over-the-counter trades, that ATSs and member firms report to FINRA's equity trade reporting facilities. Just to go a bit more in depth there, FINRA classifies over-the-counter trading data into two broad categories: alternative trading systems, or ATSs, and OTC non-ATS dealers. ATS trading centres must register with the SEC pursuant to registration of 1998 and use a broad range of trading protocols. The SEC in 2010 and Priest in 2012 described non-ATS off-exchange trading as internalisation, where over-the-counter broker-dealers execute trades as either principal or agent. Since both types of venues lack pre-trade transparency, off-exchange trading centres are often called dark markets, while exchanges such as the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ and CBOE are called lit markets. Therefore, the non-ATSs are those platforms such as Citadel Connect that don't have to report trading data to FINRA. But what does this all mean? Well, FINRA OTC non-ATS data, May 2021. They're playing hot potato with 295% of the shares in existence. Can't see June's data since FINRA isn't updating it for some reason. I think this is a really good way to classify it, as they've broken down Citadel's volume and Virtu's volume, added it all up and compared that to the float or the shares outstanding for AMC. Now you might say, hang on Tom, 1.6 billion is only like give or take 3 times the float. So you're saying that they've only traded 3 times the float in the space of an entire month. Isn't that quite reasonable? But don't forget that the apes own 80% or 90% of that float. So therefore 80% or 90% of the 500 million shares in existence is never going to see the dark pool because it's sat in our trading accounts on Fidelity. So therefore the hedgies, or Citadel Securities specifically, which isn't a hedgie, it's a market maker, but they've traded the remaining 10% of the float, or the remaining 50 million shares, back and forth with each other millions of times as to accumulate nearly 1.6 or nearly 1.7 billion shares traded in a singular month. They're quite literally playing hot potato with the remaining 50 million shares, passing it between themselves cheaper and cheaper as to stair-step the AMC price downwards. What I haven't quite wrapped my head around yet is how these 50 million shares are going between themselves in the dark pool or the non-ATS platforms like Citadel Connect, but yet are still impacting on the lit exchange price. Again, maybe it's that delayed reporting. They're just passing these trades between themselves in the dark pool and then reporting it much later. I guess they're trying to get their hand on absolutely any share they can and bring it across into the dark market so they can keep hold and continue passing these shares between each other. Another poster says FINRA won't update June. It's overdue. Could it be my boy Peter Han was right in assuming the internal floor is $5,000 a share as hush money? Boy, I believe in the mother of all short squeezes. I just didn't think these imbeciles would mess up this badly. FINRA is hiding Citadel's blunder to avoid a market sell-off if we came across this data. Now, the one thing this data is missing is the price. We can see the total number of shares traded, and we can see the number of trades that they performed, but we can't see the price at which they made these trades at. Believe it or not, I found something very, very interesting and very, very sketchy that I think FINRA is trying to cover up. If we have this OTC transparency data set for monthly, and we scroll down and find Apple, for example, we can see obviously that Apple have only reported for May of 2021. If we filter for AMC, we can also see that AMC have only also reported this data so far for May 2021. But interestingly, if I change to the weekly data and go back to Apple, we can see that Apple have reported this data until the 28th of June 2021. Very interestingly, if I then search the weekly data for GameStop, again GameStop comes up and they've reported that data again for 28th of June 2021. But the scary thing is, if I search for AMC, the only thing that comes up is Amcor. So therefore, AMC haven't actually reported any data yet for June, not even the weekly data. Clearly, FINRA are trying to cover up what an absolute mess Citadel Securities and Virtu are making, trading billions and billions, maybe even tens of billions of shares between themselves in the dark pool to knock down the AMC price. I'm very, very interested to see the June data when it's released, and I'll be sure to keep you all updated as to when it is released. And I also want to know how these market makers can trade billions and billions of shares between themselves to knock down that AMC price without any regulatory impact whatsoever. Guys, be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you think about 1.6 billion shares being traded in the dark pool for May. Do you think it's fair that these market makers can trade billions of shares between themselves and impact the lit exchange price just by concocting trades that don't actually exist? Guys, if you want to buy some AMC, but you haven't even yet signed up for a trading platform yet, be sure to sign up with Fidelity because they don't accept payment for order flow. But if you want to trade any other stocks like Apple, Amazon, Tesla, or anything else, be sure to check out the link in the description below for Webull if you're in the US, or Free Trade if you're in the UK to get some free shares. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my others. Alternatively, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers!